Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa Abdullah. Hello everybody, my name is Amgad Balawi. This is my fourth lecture in research methodology. Today I'm going to talk about something very important in research. And actually, this is the reason number one for failing in your PhD. This is the reason number one for failing in submitting your proposal. This is the most important problem in research. What's it? Your research question, methodology, and your research paradigm. Actually, we are going to do a research only just for understanding something. I need to understand something. So I conduct a research to understand this. I need to solve a problem. So I conduct a research in order to solve this problem. So I need to know something. And if you wanted to understand something, you have a question. This is a research question. Based on the question, based on what you want to know, you have to do your plan. This is your methodology. And from which perspective you will look at the problem, this is your research paradigm. That's why it's very important to relate three things together: research question, research methodology, and the research paradigm. If I were your reviewer, I would look at research question and the relationship between your research question and the methodology and your research paradigm. If it's poor, you will fail. If it's good, you succeed. So I think this is very important to understand. The first condition that you need to take into consideration is how many research questions you should have in your thesis. Just one research question, one big research question, one information. Why? Because if I have three research questions, I will have three PhD. I cannot integrate the three research questions together. I don't have a specific aim for my research. So this is a big problem, and this is, from my experience, I think this is number one for PhD failure. Always in 9 months or MPhil, transfer to PhD, your reviewer asks you, oh, this is too big for PhD. You can't do all of that. So, major correction. This research question is very trivial, very simple. Sorry, this is not PhD, this is MPhil. So you have to take into consideration that you have to have one research question, one big enough research question, and under this research question, you can have sub-questions. Let's see how. First is research question. I have mainly in research three types of research questions. I know there are 5, but this is in philosophy, in theory. I want something practical. I want to help you to do something. We have what? What is the impact of human resource practice on innovation? What is the role of human resource development on innovation? What is the impact of ERP on organizational performance? What is the impact of citizenship on performance? So you have what? What are critical success factors in ERP implementations? What are critical success factors in clinical pathway implementation? What are critical success factors in Six Sigma? And so on. So the first question is what? Second question is why? Why do some organizations outperform others? By the way, this is the father or the mother question of all strategic management. Strategic management comes to answer one question. Why do some organizations outperform others? So based on why we have a discipline, strategic discipline, and why is actually is very interesting research question. This is why. We have how. How means I understand. I want to know how these organizations are successful in implementing ERP. How these organizations are successful in implementing Six Sigma. So I need to understand how. Look at the difference. What? Mainly general. Why? More investigation. How? More investigation. So what are the impacts? What's general? more investigation, more investigation. This is research question. We have what's the impact, what is the impact of X on Y? What is the role of X on Y? X is in human resource development and Y is business innovation, for example. Second, what are critical success factors? Critical success factors. Critical success factors. There are more than a couple of questions in the blogger, so you can go to the blog and you see more questions. Why? Why? So why this organization is different? Why there are successful organization and failure organization? Why they are different? So why? Actually, sometimes we need to understand two cases: successful, failure, achieve, not achieve, able, not able, capable, not capable, not capable to do something. So why? This is my research questions. I have methodologies. I have many research methodologies actually, but there are four prominent, four famous methodologies. The first one, which is very famous, survey research. Survey research is very famous. What's survey research? You have a questionnaire, you have you have concepts, for example, citizenship and performance. So you have set of questions asked about performance and set of questions asked about citizenship. So you need to find a relationship between citizenship and the question. The organizations that have high citizenship has high performance. Low citizenship, low performance. And so we need to have concept, every concept measured by questions and so on. And we talked about it in the first lecture. Okay, this is survey research or questionnaire research. Second one is case study research. Case study research, you have a story of a company, has its beginning and its end, and you come to investigate this story in details. You want to understand what is the problem in this organization, why do people behave like this, what's happened. Look, case study answers what, why, how. Very rich. But case study has a limitation, which is you cannot generalize the results. You just study this organization, understand the reality for this organization, you can solve the problem of this organization, you can provide a tool for this organization, and all of that for this organization. So you have case study research. The third one is ground theory research. Grounded theory research, you don't have any theory, you don't know anything, you go to the company, to the people, to the community, to the society, and then ask them questions, general questions, dynamic questions. Just need to understand what's happening. Coding it, all this piece of information come together to have, yes, this is means citizenship. Okay, this is mean no citizenship. This is means very high citizenship. This means complicated organization. This means, and I try to coding the different words, different sense into codes, and try to find a relationship between codes. So this organization who achieved this are able to achieve this. Okay, so I try to find, to develop a theory, to build my theory. And after that, I come again and again and again, talking to people many times until I found what I'm asking about is the same, the answer. So this is called saturation point or theoretical saturation point, and this is the theory. I will devote a lecture for grounded theory later. Finally, we have action research. I talked about action research before, and grounded theory before also. Action research, you understand the reality and provide a tool to solve the problem in the reality, put the tool into action, find the results, what's happened, okay, that's fine, theory is developed. No, it's not fine. So re-understand the reality, develop a new tool, put the tool into action, and find out what's happened. So it's a continuous cycle. We talked about action research before. Okay, question research is the third lecture. Ground theory is in the third lecture. We have three main paradigms: positivist paradigm, interpretive paradigm, and pragmatism. Positivist or positive research, positivist paradigm means testing hypothesis. You have hypothesis and you need to test hypothesis. So you have proposition, relationship between two concepts, translated it into questions. You have hypothesis between, for example, innovation and citizenship, and set this hypothesis, test it. Okay? You can test it, of course, using survey or using case study. Let's see. Interpretive research, you don't have something to test, you need to understand the reality. So interpretive research, you're understanding the reality. We talked about it and we say this is different reality, and reality in one organization is different, so it's called social construction of reality. Reality is based on the context. This is interpretive research. Pragmatism is mixed research, positive and interpretive. You understand the reality, interpretive. You set hypothesis that this tool could solve the problem, positive. Put the tool into action, okay, to test if this tool is working or not. If it works, so the theory is done. If it's not, the theory is not done. So you need to understand reality again and set your hypothesis to have a tool, put the tool into action, and see until you understand what's happened, solve the problem. So we have three main paradigms. Before I connect, you need to understand something very important. Nothing is right and nothing is wrong. I cannot say there is something right and there is something wrong. It's all of that based on logic, okay? So I can do anything. But what's rational, what's most rational, what we're going to do? First of all, any research.